All right, we're recording. Today we are going to talk about environments in terms of concept design. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a rectangle for a horizontal environment. And by doing this particular outline, we're creating a picture plane in which our environment will fit inside. For this particular environment, it's going to be outdoors, and we're going to come up from the midpoint, which is here. We're going to come up slightly and put a line that's going to represent our horizon line. And then from that horizon line, we're going to bring a diagonal going from not quite the middle, there's the middle, it's off a little bit, towards the bottom corner. And we'll come over here a little bit away from the middle and do the same thing on the other side. So you notice we're not going all. Now we're going to create a wooded scenario. So I'm going to bring down columns that will represent tree trunks. And at the bottom, I'll just sort of curve them. And the next one, I'm going to come over a little bit and come down a little bit further. And then this one right here, I'll keep it up a little bit. So by having some variation, that it makes for some nice variety. The next thing we're going to do is we'll add some columns to the other side of our drawing. And again, these will represent tree trunks. Bring this one up a little bit, closer to the horizon line. So basically what I'm doing is I'm using rules of perspective here by adding in these diagonals that are leading towards the what we call the horizon line. And now up here, what we're going to do is we're going to add some foliage and leaf type feeling to the top of the tree. So we're going to put in some side branches. And those can vary in terms of length. And then we can add in the outer shaping of the leaves. We're keeping this all linear, so we're not adding any value right now because we're trying to understand the overall shaping and understanding the overall placement of our concept design when it comes to an environment. So when I say placement, I mean, where is this located? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a mountain, the side of a mountain that ends right here at our diagonal. And this is going to disappear behind the trees. And then we're going to have another side mountain end on this side of the diagonal, and that's going to disappear behind the trees as well. Then right in the center of that, we'll add two peaks that will represent mountains, one that will come down like this, and one that will come a little bit shorter behind it. And then we'll add a road that will come from behind this mountain right here. So we'll make it very skinny towards the back. And then we'll swoop it around to the front. And we'll add in some things like mushrooms. And on this side, we'll add in some large rocks. And a few rocks near the trees, maybe one separate over here. And at this point, we have everything that we need for our environment. Before you do this drawing or after you do the drawing, you can create some text that will go along with the drawing. You could do some writing ahead of time to say, I'm going to do an outdoor scene, which is wooded with some mountains and a road, and then you can start drawing it. And then after you're done, you could start to describe a little bit more about this particular place. And you could say, you know, you could come up with a name for this world, and you could describe what part of the world we're looking at. You could tell us where this road goes, where it leads to, what's on the other side of these hills. Are there any creatures or characters that might live within these stones or mushrooms or behind the trees or in the trees? Or are the characters the trees themselves? And if so, how do we know, and what do they do? How do they make their presence known? So this is your demo for beginning concept design for an environment of an outdoor setting.